This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, everyone. Parents upset with masking decisions add the option to learn about homeschooling tonight.
Homeschooling experts shared their experiences and knowledge about what it takes to educate kids from home.
Valley News Team's JC Dodd joins us now to break down some of the options. JC?
Mike, Stacy, there was a lot of information to digest tonight. Over 50 people showed up to the Homeschooling 101 event where several veteran homeschoolers shared the ins and outs of how to homeschool your children. Some in attendance have been doing it for years, and some are starting their first year. They started with breaking down the laws in North Dakota and Minnesota and touched on topics like how to balance teaching multiple kids, what to do if both parents work full-time, and all of the different curriculums and options families have out there. Nina Philippines has taught her daughter from home since she was born and says keeping options open for kids is very important.
It's just great to have choices. Kids are such individuals that to be able to choose what's right for a specific child is such an amazing thing.
For those parents who aren't interested in homeschooling, keep this in mind. All school districts have the authority to offer distance learning in North Dakota. I checked with the state and they indicate that schools may open a virtual school academy. Fargo has approved this option for families for the 2021-22 school year. Mike, Stacy.
Thanks, JC. In addition to the school board approving the creation of a virtual academy within the district, the Department of Public Instruction must also approve the move.
It's been 48 hours of constant phone calls and emails for Fargo public school leaders, and tonight they're responding to the criticism and questions from parents in the district after the school board voted to make masks mandatory this school year, regardless of vaccination status. And the number one question Fargo Public Schools parents want to know, just how long is this mask mandate going to last?
What's in place today might not be in place tomorrow. Our job is to respond to the data and to the science and to the guidance that we receive.
Dr. Gande went on to say that those without a mask will be provided one and says reoccurring non-compliance will be dealt with on a case-by-case basis, saying there's not a specific disciplinary action plan in place.
You can find the rest of Dr. Gande's answers to parents' top questions right on our website. Just click on this story.
The United States Department of Education has approved North Dakota's plan to use federal coronavirus relief aid for schools. The approval unlocks the remaining $101 million of the more than $300 million directed to North Dakota from the American Rescue Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund. The state's plan details how the federal money will be used to maintain safe schools and expand opportunities for students, especially those impacted by COVID-19.
The nation's health leaders say the summer surge is only getting worse. The CDC now says up to 44,000 Americans could die from COVID-19 over the next 3 weeks. But as Aaron Hassanzadeh explains, there is a treatment helping some Minnesotans stay out of the hospital.
When former President Donald Trump tested positive for COVID-19, he received monoclonal antibodies.
We have the best medicines.
A treatment with emergency use authorization from the FDA designed to keep people out of the hospital. The federal government is fronting the cost, so Minnesotans can access it practically for free.
We have approximately 70 sites in the state offering it. We have over 3,000 doses available.
So who is getting this treatment today? If you have the virus or have been exposed, you have to be 12 or older and weigh more than 88 pounds to be eligible. And people who could get really sick from COVID-19 are prioritized. So people with comorbidities like asthma or diabetes. And the sooner you get it, the better.
You want to give it within 10 days of symptom onset.
Pharmacy Director John Shook says Alamere Health in Alexandria has given the IV treatment to more than 200 people. Less than 5 of them were admitted to the hospital. As cases pick up, so does demand.
In the month of June, we hardly gave any. I think we gave 3 doses the whole month. But now, last 2 weeks, we've given almost 30 doses.
I really thought patients will be, breaking down my door to get this medication. And that has not really happened.
Dr. Venkat Iyer with Allina Health Group says they've given the treatment to more than 650 people since last January.
None of them developed severe disease or even got hospitalized.
He says it also lessens symptoms, shortens sickness, and makes you less contagious. Aaron Hassanzadeh, WCCO4 News.
And to find out more about the treatment, go to the Minnesota Department of Health website.
Cass County is now being designated as having a high COVID-19 transmission rate. The CDC's update is based on an average of new cases, positivity rates, and hospitalizations in the county. Active COVID-19 cases in Cass County are now at 242 cases. That compares to 20 active cases on July 1st. The fully vaccinated rate in Cass County for 12 to 18-year-olds, that's approximately 40%. 19 to 29-year-olds, 43%, with a 50% vaccinated rate to 30 to 39-year-olds. Ages 40 and older, that's over 60%, and it goes higher as age groups go higher.
A Fargo man is walking again after a near fatal case of West Nile virus. 40-year-old Andy McBride grew up in Fargo and graduated from Fargo North. 3 years ago, the bite from a mosquito put him in a coma. Eventually, it put him in a wheelchair, but thanks to in-home therapy and sheer persistence, he's back on his feet.
I was mad at myself if I had energy at the end of the day, and I was like, oh, I didn't work hard enough, you know?
Doctors can't pinpoint exactly why his paralysis is reversing. They told him he's only the third person they've ever seen make such a reversal after facing paralysis.
A Minnesota health clinic is set to reopen next month after a deadly shooting at the place back in February. Allina Health in Buffalo Crossroads will reopen September 27th. Authorities say 68-year-old Gregory Ulrich admitted to opening fire at the clinic, killing one woman and leaving 4 people behind injured. Investigators say that he also set off homemade bombs in the clinic. Just yesterday, Ulrich was found competent to stand trial. He faces up to 40 years in prison on the murder charge alone. He'll be back in court September 21st.
MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell claims he was attacked at his Sioux Falls hotel last night. Lindell is in town for a 3-day event where he claims to have proof that the 2020 presidential election was hacked. Sioux Falls police originally said they hadn't received a report of the assault. Police now say they're investigating a reported assault that happened around 11:30 last night at a hotel near Russell Street and West Avenue. Due to Marcy's law enforcement is not allowed to confirm whether Lindell was the victim. No arrests have been made.
The North Dakota legislature this year passed sweeping reforms to the juvenile justice system. The interim judiciary committee has now reviewed a study linking the legislation to understand how the new law will be implemented.
I guess the 30,000-foot level objective here is really to do the best we can for the young people that come into contact with our juvenile justice system. And so that's where some of the research becomes helpful.
What it's about is providing kids with the services they need instead of taking this attitude that any kid that gets in trouble, just put them in juvenile detention and that will fix it. It's sort of like saying that any person who commits a crime, put them in prison and that'll fix them. No.
This is the first major overhaul of the juvenile justice system in North Dakota since 1969. West Fargo police officers are helping kids get ready for the upcoming school year. The Cops and Kids Back to School shopping event took place tonight. Officers and a few kids went to Walmart on 55th Avenue South in Fargo to get school supplies, clothes, shoes, and other necessities. This is the 3rd year that the event has taken place.
Still ahead tonight, building a safer car for everyone. Why it's so important that the federal government zero in on crash numbers involving women. But first, Hutch joins us with the latest on your Friday weather planner and beyond.